We're celebrating Open Education Week, and we're here, of course, to celebrate with Cheryl, who was recently awarded the UNESCO Chair in Open Education and Social Justice. And celebrating Open Education Week as a higher education institution is key, particularly with the theme of open education and social justice. Social justice for us at UCT and in the country is something that we grapple with a lot, especially given the challenges that we've had in the past few years. And so when we have a theme that says open education and justice and social justice, one asks, what does this say to the movement? What is it that this open access movement is contributing to the social justice debate and challenges that we have? Of course, the open access movement is about ensuring access to affordable and contextually relevant educational resources and practices. And we are here, we do that in many different ways. We cannot, as people involved in the movement, make education accessible, but we can make the resources accessible. And so I thought, Cheryl, I wondered when you wrote the proposal for the UNESCO chair and named it Open Education and Social Justice, I wondered whether you realized the challenge that you put into yourself. Because with the chair that's named that way comes a lot of expectation. What is this chair going to deliver? Is it going to be research that positions you as a scholar? And of course, we can argue that if you do outstanding research as a chair, not only do you position yourself, you position us, not just as a university, but as a country, as a continent, and as the global south. Because oftentimes scholarship is dominated by the global north. So your voice is going to be important in the global north, particularly on this issue that's so important for the developing world. And for that, we are excited. So when you're out there in the world, you position us, you are our voice, you are the critical voice, you will challenge prevailing discourses and make people think wider than they always do. The challenge is what happens when you come back. Because when you hear, your voice, first of all, is we expected, and we expect more, actually. In the world, elsewhere in the north, it might not be expected. And so it will shift the thinking, and that's key. Here, it is the expectations that are going to shift your thinking. They're going to shift your thinking, and some of it may be painful. I'm just thinking, given the time where we are at right now. But perhaps with the discomfort will come the challenge to push you to ask even bigger questions, and perhaps pursue those questions. And it's almost like you come home, you get shaken, and then you push some more, and then you go up there and you shake them and push them some more. I sort of imagine it being that way, because social justice for us, we have to deal with issues of access. Access to education and higher education. The issue of access to higher education has been raised sharply in the past few years. And we've gone on to say, in fact, giving access is not good enough. Once we've given access, we've got to say, when the students are having access, what is it that they're participating in? Do they have equity of participation? And with that, do we have equity of success? And I think that's a challenge. So if you think about it, I have said before that as UCT, in many, many ways, we've done decently with access when it comes to access. Our big challenge is we haven't done very well with participation and success. And here's the reason why. This is my view why I think we haven't done well. So we are a university modeled on global north ways of doing, with a distinguished reputation. We open the gates. We function almost like a middle-class university. Sort of, we used to serve middle-class students and up. We open the gates, we get working class students, students from low socioeconomic backgrounds. But my view is that we actually don't know how to deal with them. And I think that it's not that we don't want. I think we don't know. So we've opened the gates. There, now you have access, now you are here. We continue as if we still have the same kind of students that we had 20 years ago, middle class students. But we have different students. It's not only that they learn in a language that's not their own, but we expect their fluency in academic English to be at a particular level. We expect them to have the social capital, the cultural capital, to be able to cope, navigate the space, know what to do when they don't know, and they don't know what to do. Sometimes they don't even know that they don't know, because they come here as highly achieved students. But we haven't figured out. Of course, it's not that we haven't tried to innovate. We have. I mean, we have Chad and we have SILTS in Chad and many other initiatives. But we still, when you look at our success rates in terms of students, it's racialized. When you look at who gets excluded, and I'm talking academic exclusion, it's racialized. And we have to ask ourselves questions. Why is this the case? Is there something that we can do? And I think if you have a chair that's labeled open education and social justice, you invite into yourself those kinds of challenges and expectations. I'm not saying they're reasonable, but I'm saying seeing the chair that you have been awarded made me celebrate, but also made me feel this is gonna be a challenge to us as an institution, to keep thinking, and maybe that's a good thing, to keep thinking, to keep challenging ourselves that we cannot accept things as they are and think that it's okay. If we accept the top students in the university, in the country, to come to UCT, we've got to ask, why do they suddenly become incapable once they walk in here? And of course, it's possible, many reasons that I've heard people say, well, it's because basic education is not good enough. Even these results don't tell us anything. That's us making ourselves feel good. We say the results don't tell us anything. But when students fail matric, we say the teachers don't teach. When ours fail, it is not us, it's the students. It's like the formula changes once university starts. And I think with what open education tries to do and then social justice, the challenge is on us, but it's not your challenge alone. It's for us as an institution. It's a challenge for us in the executive. We're asking ourselves, is even this deferral system working? Is it working? Is it worth even having this system of deferrals, of RACs? What are we doing? Are the numbers going up, down? We are at a point where we're interrogating all these tools that we use, that we are convincing ourselves that they are enabling not only access but participation and success. And so we will keep coming back to Chad and saying, help us think, help us move forward. And I hope the discomfort of the presence of your chair that I feel is felt and jointly felt by colleagues in Chad and across the university. So congratulations on the chair. Getting a chair is wonderful. It gives you an opportunity to do things that you wouldn't have been able to do without the chair. It sort of takes the chair that was there, puts it on the stage and says to the world, there's our expert. They're going to do their thing. Watch them. Yes. No, it's not pressure. It's quite nice. We all wish we had chairs. And one of the deans last year said one of the best moments of their job is, we asked them in the last 6 months what was the the moment that you loved the most, and he said, when I announced that someone has won a chair. So it's a wonderful moment because it's a moment of opportunity, but with every opportunity comes a challenge. And for me, that's the challenge for you. So we wish you everything of the best. You have proven yourself up to now. It is that scholarship that you've done that brought you here, all that work, all that sweat, all that running. That's why you're here. We have no doubt that you can do it and help us grapple with the difficult questions. I know that your chair doesn't necessarily help us solve the issues of higher education access, participation, and success. But you are better positioned to think about those questions with us when we want to engage on them. So thank you very much for showing interest in the chair. Of course, the UNESCO UniTwin program is a wonderful program. It puts you in the same league with other chairs in the developing world. It was launched in 1992. And it was, of course, when it was launched, it was a way to boost training and research in higher education by building networks of universities and other institutions to encourage inter-university cooperation between researchers and promote the transfer of knowledge to developing countries. Our chair is not about transferring knowledge to developing countries. For us, you're not part of the UniTwin project to get. We're going in there through you to give, to challenge, to broaden the scope of what they do. So congratulations on the work. Thank you, colleagues.